Hey guys, welcome back to RHR Jen. I'm so glad you're here. Guys, I have such a good show for you today. First of all, happy Friday. I am going to be talking a potential job posting from Harry and Meghan. That's right, got my hands on something that might just be a job where you can go work for Harry and Meghan. Don't do it. Don't do it. We're going to talk all about that and what they're looking for. It's insane. And then we're going to go into the Sentebale thing. Now, this is going to be something you're really going to want to pay attention to because I feel like more is coming out about this. Harry's already trying to spin it, in my opinion, to make it seem like, well, he did nothing wrong and quit the whole organization. But there's so much more to this, and the statements that's being put out aren't exactly what's going on. You'll understand. I'll go over it all. I'll explain it. But I'm just telling you, there's some weirdness you're going to want to see having to do with Sentebale, because I think we're going to hear a lot more about that coming up very soon. We are very much team Dr. Sophie here. So let's find out what's going on with that. But again, if you're new here, I'm Jen. Make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe, leave me comments, as all those helps YouTube to recommend my videos. Also, just a reminder, I do have the second channel. It's Goose Adventures. Over on Goose Adventures, it's more than just a weight loss channel. Now, I did lose 140 pounds. I did it drug-free and surgery-free. It's taken me about 19 months to do that. I'm detailing exactly what I did and how I did it and showing my before and afters. But also, I'm helping with, motivation, exercise, hacks that I found useful, things like that. I'm also going into habits. I'm big into habits, micro habits, things like that, atomic habits. So how to change your life through small habits. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, or making a big change, or transforming, I know a thing or two about that. Join me over at Goose Adventures and I'll explain what I did and what you can do, and we can work together and figure out what works for everybody. So check that out. Now let's get into this. This was shared by Royally Sage. It's a job posting, and I have to say, allegedly, they think it sure sounds a lot like Harry and Meghan looking for help. What did I just say? Looking for half a brain. No, looking for help. So I've got the ad ready to go. It's I'll put it up on screen, but it's easier for me to read it off my phones because that is tiny. So here we go. Let's take a look. So it says, global search out of Santa Barbara, California. A loving, dynamic family based in beautiful Santa Barbara is seeking experienced full-time nanny to join their household and care for their two bright, kind-hearted young children, age 4 and 6. The family lives at a beautiful home just minutes from the beach. Okay, I'm going to skip over the not pertinent parts. Let's see. The property includes expansive outdoor space and a private playground. Is that for Harry? Are the kids allowed on it, or is that damn swing that Megan was on? You know the kids aren't allowed on that thing. The household is staffed with a long-standing, dedicated team who help maintain a calm and nurturing home environment. It's just, that makes me think it's not Harry and Meghan's then. Although they travel a lot. So maybe when they're gone, that's what's happening. I'm sure the staff is great. It's Harry and Meghan that I question. As their nanny of the last 5 years has now become a mother herself and requires more time at home. That makes me think it's not them, because they don't tend to keep staff that long unless they're just blowing smoke to make it seem like they've had a long-term nanny. I don't know. Let's see. And requires more time at home. They are transitioning her into a family assistant role and are now seeking a nanny who will become part of this trusted team and grow with the family for many years to come. This is a live-in or live-out position. If living in, accommodations include a private bedroom, bathroom, sitting room, staff kitchen, and separate entrance within the home staff wing. The role requires flexibility in domestic and international travel, including family holidays throughout the year. If you prefer to relocate to the Santa Barbara area, it's important to the family that you're within 20 minutes of the property. That might be me. She needs 20 minutes to get out the door to get her picture taken. Okay. You better be there. Let's see. Additional towns nearby include Caprateria and Goleta. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Okay. The nanny will assist with morning and evening routines, school drop off and pickup, the children's laundry and tidying of their spaces, coordinating play dates and after school activities, managing the children's calendar, and supporting with bath and bedtime as needed. The family is looking for someone who is warm, professional, intuitive, and experience. A team player who can collaborate easily with others in the home and navigate the needs of the family with confidence and care. The right candidate will have a genuine passion for childcare, a nurturing disposition. Can you imagine? Mary Poppins could go in there and do the best job. If Megan decides she doesn't like her, well, Mary Poppins is a woman, so Megan automatically won't like her. So it's not going to go well. Here we go. Let's see. Nurturing disposition and the ability to balance creative, structured engagement with emotional support. Comfort around dogs is a must, as the family has two. A second language, such especially French or Spanish, would be a welcome bonus. The family prefers a nanny who's an active participant in learning and development, someone who encourages imaginative play, outdoor exploration, a screen-free experience. A strong swimmer is also important, as well as someone who can patiently help guide the children through new milestones such as swimming, biking, reading, and writing. Is that for Harry? He doesn't know how to do any of that stuff. Is the nanny going to teach the kids and then the kids will teach Harry? Is that the plan? This is an extraordinary opportunity for a nanny who brings warmth, flexibility, discretion, and a true helping spirit to everything they do. The family hopes to find someone who truly, that's a lot of trulies, loves their work and is ready to build a long-lasting bond with the family. All right, let's talk qualifications. All right, this is what they're looking for. Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science college degree, associate's degree in related field of study, or a minimum of 5+ years professional nanny experience. Up-to-date first aid CPR certification, willingness to renew as needed. The ability to make a 1-year commitment unless applying for a temporary position. A passion for working with children. 5+ years of childcare experience in any field, excellent work, and personal references. U.S. driver's license. This does not apply to NYC residents. Must be a competent swimmer if and when required. Non-smoker. Must be live scanned and registered with Trustline. Never heard of Trustline. If you're a CA resident. Willingness to sign our no cell phone driving signed guarantee. Must be eligible to work in the U.S. Willingness to complete our Stop the Silence training upon membership. Number of hours per week, 50. All right. Well, that's a long resume. Who's in? Who wants to work for the family? All right. We'll read some comments underneath, but just think about let's just think about this and how that would go. You could be, again, Mary Poppins, and it wouldn't matter. If she's sorry, my necklace got twisted. If if you're a nice looking female, you're not going to stand a chance. If you are young, Harry's type at all, if the kids like the nanny better, she won't like any of that. That's going to be a rough road for somebody. So, yeah, I'm dying to know more if you know any more about this. Is this actually for them? It sure sounds like it. People are speculating that it's for them, but we got to say allegedly, right? Because we don't know for sure. But, oof, that would be a tough position to get into, wouldn't it? Yikes. All right, let's read some comments under this job posting, and you guys have to let me know who's going for the job. I would rather, and it's nothing against the kids, it's just the idea of working for Harry and Meghan. I would rather, I hate bathroom humor, but I'd rather scrub bathrooms with my toothbrush. I would rather clean glands for dogs. I would rather, I don't know. I would rather inseminate cows with my bare hands and not one of those long gloves. Gross. There's a lot of stuff I'd rather do. Let me know in the comments what you'd rather do than, I don't know why I went there, than work for Harry and Meghan. Oof, God, that'd be rough. They're not paying much, right? They're not paying much. I don't think she'd see that job as a valued position, because she would think anything important the kids are going to learn from me. The nanny's just like a fill-in, even though every position or every expectation is that of a parent, nurturing the children, feeding them, taking care of them, looking after their education, bath times, playtime, driving them around, swimming, all that stuff, biking. What would you say that you guys are doing? Wow. Yeah, that's interesting. It'd be funny if there's a listing that said, "They will not get me in the middle of the night for a loose tooth." Remember, that was her whole thing. Archie got her because he lost a tooth and she cuddled him all night. And all of us said, well, clearly she's not a hands-on parent, because that's not how it goes. Losing teeth is not that painful for the child. And they're usually so excited for the tooth fairy. It's not a cuddle a kid all night type ordeal. Usually it's not like a bad dream. So it's weird how she describes the raising of the children experiences. It doesn't match what most people's experiences are. And I understand there can be one-offs, but to me, it screams more of, tell me you don't hands-on parent without telling me you don't hands-on parent. So but let's read some comments under this, shall we? Starting with friend of the channel, Think Beautiful. I interviewed Think Beautiful before, so go back and find that. Wait, school drop-offs? I thought Meghan did those, right? Yeah, she's bragged about that a couple of times. You know what else would be funny is if she had listed get milkshakes for the kids, because remember she bragged about that at Ingriftus like 2 games ago or something. She was like, she had to get milkshakes for the kids. Okay. Foster says, it just shows how far they've fallen. I can't imagine a member of the royal family having to advertise for a nanny. If they had any well-placed friends and sources in Cali, it would be all through word of mouth, networking on great quality nannies who might be interested. Yeah, I was thinking the same. This seems pretty odd. If it's them, if it's not them, an affluent family, like it sounds like this is, unless it's Harry and Meghan, affluent. That's how, why did I say it like that? Affluent family, it's usually done by word of mouth, or there's agencies involved, or the nanny that I know she's transitioning, but she would maybe have people that she could refer and stuff. So it's kind of surprising to see it advertised like this, but okay. Let's see here. Not sure says, well, at least Maggie packs the lunch boxes. I thought that was a great comment. And in case you forgot, it's a reference back to the silly Billie Eilish lunchbox thing. Ugh. It's more than just she packs lunch boxes. The reason I'm making that face is because you brilliant flockers taught me that it wasn't just about her name dropping Billie Eilish. I looked up the lyrics because Billie Eilish has a song about lunch. Yeah. Okay. Google those lyrics. I think the main refrain of the song is, I could eat that girl for lunch. There you go. All right, let's keep going. One really fast Kentucky chicken says, is this a nanny or a housekeeper? With all that talk of teamwork, I wonder if they've decided to double up on staff responsibilities. Harry's a man child. meal ticket, handbag, enabler, sperm donor. Is he working her security too? Probably. Genevieve says, didn't she say on her Drew Barrymore show how she does the morning drop off and pickup? Yes, she did. Oh, yes, she did. And then why can't lazy Harry do anything? Does he actually drive? I come to think of it, I've seen pap shots of her driving. I don't know if I've seen him. I don't know. It's a good question. Um, yeah, I don't know on any of it. I really don't. Hmm. This person says, who in their right mind would work for either of them? Yes, again, don't know. I go back to the books that I've read, especially it was Cordius that laid into both of them, especially Harry, pretty hard about how awful he was to work with. How if he just get moody and cranky and search online for any bad reviews of himself and take it out on staff. And I want to say, if I haven't correct, it was like he'd have the staff print out the bad reviews or bad tweets or whatever of him. He'd obsess about it and then get like angry about it. So it's like, oh, that does not sound like a fun workplace, does it? All right. Phoenix Rising says, in other words, they'd like to hire a parent for their kids so they don't have to do it. That's exactly it. Whoever's kids it is, I hope a good nanny comes through, because that's a lot. I mean, you're entrusting everything with a stranger. That's wild. I understand that some people need help and nannies and stuff, but it's usually for work purposes, not for whatever these two grifters are doing. So yeah, you got me. I don't see any requirements for fruit rainbows. That made me laugh too. Yeah, because if they could do better than her, then she wouldn't be able to hire. I mean, she wouldn't. It wouldn't allow her to hire them. If they could make like I don't know, a better rainbow or a fruit rainbow that doesn't like leak over onto the counter or something. If they can chop better than Meghan, she's going to be pissed. So, yeah. All right. Sue says many of the tasks a mother would be expected to perform for her mystery children. Yeah. A mother or a father, any parent. Yeah. These are parental roles. Like if you, even if you don't have kids, you don't know anything about kids, what are the biggest things for kids? Making sure that they're fed, that they're going to bed properly, that they're, um, you know, uh, learning things, that they're growing, that they're healthy, that they're, um, doing well in school and having social engagements and learning and playing and everything listed in the ad. Yeah. Yeah, it covers all of it pretty much. All right. Friend of the channel, according to Taz, brought this up. So I'd like to switch gears and talk about Sentebale, shall we? So according to Taz, posted this. Oh, look, go. It didn't go Harry's way. Hold on. Didn't go Harry's way, so he quit for good and attacked the charity commission. Shocker. The fact that Dr. Sophie Chanduka is allowed to remain alongside the new trustees tells me everything. Plus, Harry quits his charity. Yep. Yes, he did. So I brought just a few snapshots from this, including the snarky reply. Ah, that dude is awful. I don't normally throw around the B word. It's just not something that I do for men or women or what I just don't. But for him, I'm going to give him the whiny little bitch award because he's being a whiny little bitch in this thing. He put out a statement that is just, we'll get to it. But here's the Daily Mail article. Prince Harry shuts the door on any return to his charity as damning report into war of words. Boardroom row rejects racism claim. All right. Let me explain before you get too deep into this. So if you don't know better, you'd think, oh, well, they've investigated and it sounds like they found no problems that Dr. Sophie had, alleged were occurring in the boardroom. Well, that's not what happened. So it's going in and it's saying, it's a whole thing. Let me show you. Hold on. Okay, so here's where it says The Charity Commission is explicitly clear, including in its public guidance, that it is not the Commission's responsibility to educate or mediate internal disputes. That would include individual allegations of the bull words, the harassment, the massage words, massage noir, etc. As a result, the Commission has not investigated any individual allegations and therefore has not made any findings in relation to individuals, including Prince Harry. I believe this was directly put out by, I think this was put out by Sentebale themselves. So it's to let us know, hey, he's not in the clear because it's being misreported that, oh, it wasn't found to have all these issues. Oh, no, that's not it. They just are saying we're not qualified to investigate that. That's not what we do. Somebody else is going to have to do that. So I just want to be clear about that because I don't want Harry to get away, like to have people thinking, oh no, he didn't do anything. It sounds like he may have. We'll see. I can't accuse anybody, but it's the allegations are still there and he's quit. And Dr. Sophie's allowed to stay. So I'm with Taz. That tells me some stuff right there. But again, I know I can hear friend of the channel, John Witherspoon, screaming at me saying, you have to say allegedly. Allegedly, I don't know. These are just my thoughts coming in on this. I'll let, he and I are supposed to record together again soon. So I'll let him, speak to this stuff. But just my opinion is that says a lot that Dr. Sophie's allowed to stay on. Harry quit. And he put out this little B statement. Again, he's just a petulant B word. I'm going to quit saying that, but I'm telling you, he's a whiny little bitch. There. I'm not going to say it anymore. Last night, he made clear he had no intention of returning, with a spokesman saying this was a spokesman on Harry's behalf about this. Okay. With the original mission of Sentebale, I hate that guy, of Sentebale firmly in mind, and in honor of the legacy he and Prince Ciso of Lesotho, I hope I'm saying that right, began, the Duke of Sussex will now focus on finding new ways to continue supporting the children of Lesotho and Botswana. You talk about a whiny, petulant statement. He's like, I'm going to take my choice and go home. Yeah. But he's still being all victim-y, like, I got to get out of here. Yeah. But he's also, it's on me. I'm going to be a superhero and save these children. What have you done the last however many years that they said you weren't visiting? What would you say you did? I don't think giving a few speeches here and there is really helping the kids, Harry. It sounds like Dr. Sophie, at least Dr. Sophie sounds like she knows what she's doing and she's working hard at this. So hopefully the kids will be better off with Harry off this thing. God, he really is petulant and awful, isn't he? I have to remind myself of this sometimes because it's easy to think, oh, Meghan's being awful, and she is sometimes, but this is a reminder that Harry's just as awful, if not worse than her sometimes with some of this stuff. That's just a crappy thing to say. If he really cared, it wouldn't have come to this. He wouldn't have fought against Sophie like this. He wouldn't have said the awful things he said. He wouldn't put out this whiny statement. He would have figured out a way to not quit and to make this a priority and to actually help the kids. Instead, he's taking his toys and he's going home. Ugh, I can't stand that guy. All right, so there's that. Let's read some comments about that. So Harry is criticized for letting it play out in the media and then immediately runs to the media to criticize the Charity Commission. He's as thick as mints. That's exactly my issue with this as well. He can't just do anything for the good of doing it or for the sake of helping. He has to try to bash people. Maybe I'm reading too much into that, but I see that as a direct shot at Dr. Sophie. She's not bailing. She's there to try to help people. Harry's bailing. And again, they might get more done without the doofus there, but I'm saying, like, what? So he's going to what? Try to burn it on the way out? Good luck. All right. And he's gonna run to the press every click of the camera. Ugh. All right, how's that going? The irony, Henry brings it to the public eye yet again after the commission stated the failure to resolve disputes internally severely impacted the charity's reputation and risked undermining public trust in charities more generally. Harry is simply a moron. That's exactly it. And I'm glad that they brought that up because that was part of that's part of the finding is that they were disappointed that it just couldn't be resolved not in public. It couldn't be handled internally. Yeah, look who's on the charity though. It's Harry. Of course it's not going to be handled internally. That guy complains about the press and then shares everything with them. This person says they definitely let him off easy, and we know why. If Sophie was doing something wrong, Dr. Sophie was doing something wrong, they would have recommended removing her. Instead, the crybaby prince ran. Seems to be a theme with him running away from work. Now, here's my question, and it's a legitimate question. I'm really not trying to throw stones at Doofus. I'm actually wondering, does it seem like, I don't know how that works. Could he have been let go, but given the choice to resign kind of thing? Is it one of those, or he knew something bad was coming? More findings, so he decided to resign to try to outrun it? I'm just legitimately asking these questions. I guess anything's possible, but oh, it's awful. All right. Is it Grammy Murray says the other pertinent thing to note is the commission could say nothing about the antics of Meghan Markle as she is not an office bearer. Oh, that's what I want to know more about. Is that the case? Maybe so. I want to know more about Meghan Markle's antics. I need to know more about this. What happened? Yeah, I want to know more about this. I know that clip, I saw it on Twitter, was going around about that over here, talking to Dr. Sophie like she was a dog. That infuriates me while preaching feminism. Okay. As ever, Jules, Duchess of Sussex, says he really is a spoiled brat, runs to the media, who he says he hates, to complain and play victim. That's exactly it. Exactly it. And again, we cannot not bring up the fact that he's aiming at an African American woman. All the things that Meghan says that she is and supports, basically. And then Harry's asinine statement through his friend about Dr. Sophie possibly being jealous of Meghan. Who could forget that? That is just the most juvenile, ridiculous. I just think that is just so inappropriate to make a statement like that. And I find, I'm not one that looks to get offended by things, but if I was Dr. Sophie, I would find that very offensive. I find it offensive on her behalf. I said at the time when I watched that over here statement, that whole video, I said, I looked up because I didn't know who Dr. Sophie was, and I looked her up when it happened, and I said, she's more qualified than all of them to be up there on the stage. She's been with the charity a long time. She's worked her way up. She sounds like she's well liked. I mean, she has her stuff together. There's not complaints about her. So what in the world gives Meghan the right to order her around like that? And Dr. Sophie had more of a right to be up there with that trophy than Meghan did. What was Meghan doing up there? So you're the spouse of somebody involved. So what? How many of us have been to events with your significant other where there's getting, or even just a friend, whatever, they're getting an award, they're having some sort of honor given to them. Can you imagine barging up on stage? I'll take that. That's mine. Like posing for pictures? No, it doesn't work like that. That's crazy. Crazy. Like, not just that, just the idea. Okay, like, again, let's just say it's a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a fiance, and they're getting some sort of big award, and you not only go up on stage with them, which already makes me cringe, but you're ordering around their colleagues. Over here, over here, over here, because you're so threatened by, a beautiful woman. You don't want her standing too close to your idiot husband. Can you imagine? Only in Megan's world. All right, guys, I've got to know your thoughts on all this. Over here, leave me a comment. Come on. Seriously, what do you think about the job posting? What do you think? Do you think that's for Harry and Meghan? What else is missing from that posting? Do you think should have been included? Um, do you think it's a sign? I'm just wondering of potential separate households. I'm just wondering, like, so they need more staff. What's going on, do you think? And then Harry, the Sentebale thing. I don't know. Just tell me your general thoughts on that. Dying to know. I think he should get the WB award. Whiny. How about WLB award? Whiny little bee. Ugh, he really is the worst. All right, let me know your thoughts on all this. A huge thank you to my Patreon members. If you want to further support the show, you know how to do it. Check out the merch. We have Everything's Fine, Make It Make Sense, Not Bloody Likely, Team Catherine, all kinds of stuff over there. Somebody had asked for, and I do have, In a World Full of Megans, Be a Catherine. I've got some of that merch as well. There's that. And then I want to remind you about my second channel, Goose Adventures, where I'm detailing how I lost 140 pounds. And everything from what I ate to how I've done it, how I maintain it, what happens when you hit a plateau, how to go through transformations, not just physical ones, but mental ones. I'm big into habits and affirmations and all that stuff. So check it out there. It'll help change your life. It's a great group over there. So check that out. All right. And then a huge thank you to my Patreon members, patreon.com/Real Housewives Recaps. That's where I do lots of bonus episodes. Most creators only do about one a week. I do 3 a week. I post 3 a week episodes over there. And it's everything from Harry and Meghan stuff to behind the scenes of the channel stuff to talking about different shows to deep diving different issues. Sometimes it's just hey, let's look at Catherine and have a nice moment, whatever it is. I've given some, sometimes I share things over there I don't share over here. So if you want to know more about me, you can find it over there. But all right, I'm going to, and a huge thank you to my executive producers. Thank you, Geese and Gander, so much for supporting me over there. But I'm going to leave this here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I sincerely appreciate it. Can't wait to read your thoughts on this one. Let me know in the comments, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Okay, ready? Hi, how are you? How are things? So today, a Ralph Lauren shirt. There you go. I just got this. I like the color. It's nice. It's like got the faint, I don't know how to explain. It's that light blue, but it's got like the threading details in it. I just think it's pretty. So what did Joey call it on Friends? He says, do you have any of the stuff that doesn't have the guy riding the dog? He said that to Rachel. He wanted her to bring him a shirt, but nothing with the guy riding the dog. This is funny. Anyway, how are things? I'm sick of this Sentebale thing. I really am. That's awful. I just wanted to clearly explain that because I think it's important to know that Harry has not been cleared of stuff. The whole charity has not been cleared of stuff, meaning I'm not accusing anybody. I'm just saying the wording is kind of getting out of hand. It's like, oh, no Eastwards found. Well, that's not really what happened. It sounds like, if I'm understanding it correctly, that the people brought in to investigate they're not in the position to do that. They're saying that's not what we do. We just regulate the charity or something like that. There's another group that will look into that. So I say look into it. Let's clear Sophie some more. It sounds like she's in the clear, but let's clear Sophie some more and see what H has been up to. And M. I'm sorry, I don't know how that works, but even if she's not a member of the board, if she was actively involved in some shenanigans, we need to know about it, you know? I think hopefully people can speak up about it, but again, it's a case of they don't practice what they preach. They talk about online bull stuff. You know what I'm talking about. And try to silence any of their critics. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely crazy. And I think it should be stopped if that's what's happening. So let me know your thoughts. And if you stayed with me this long, let's see, what should we comment? Let's try to think of something fun. Let's see. Oh, I know. Okay, so they talked about different languages that you should know if you want to be the nanny. All right. If you could magically wake up fluent in any language, what would it be? And you can tell me why if you want, or you don't have to explain it. What language would you wake up just absolutely beautifully speaking fluently? Let me know. I'm thinking that's hard. My instinct is to say French. I think it'd be nice to speak French. Spanish would probably prove more useful, but I don't know. There's something beautiful about the French language. So I'll say French. What would you wake up speaking? Let me know. I'm trying to think, where else I really want to go to Switzerland and like Germany and stuff. So maybe German, but I don't know. I want to speak French. Okay. So let me know in the comments, what language would you wake up speaking fluently? But I mean, you'd still know English as well, but what other language would you wake up speaking fluently? Let me know. I might want to know sign language though. I tried to learn a little bit of it when I was younger and I know like alphabet and a few basic words. Ooh, I can teach you a dirty word in sign language. Would you like to see it? All right, ready? Okay. So it's like, and I might be doing a little bit wrong, but from what I remember, sorry, I get it up on screen. Something like that, or it might be like that. It's bullshit. Isn't that cool? I thought that was so cool. Bullshit. All right. Anyway, all right. I'm gonna leave this here. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for sticking with me. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye bye. I do think it's like that. It's bullshit. All right. He really is a whiny little.